What if I told you that Donald Trump may already be planning to stay in office past 2028? And I don't mean figuratively, I mean literally not leaving, even if the Constitution says he has to. Because if you look at his approval rating, his behaviour, and the pattern of his entire life, the path to a constitutional crisis isn't just possible, it's obvious. Let me show you how Trump could actually pull it off, step by step. Despite his bragging, Trump is one of the most unpopular presidents in modern history. He started his second term below where Biden was in 2020, and he's been underwater since early March. And the trend is not going up. We've seen this movie before. Chaos, incompetence, criminality, collapsing approval, electoral wipeouts, backlash. In 2018, Democrats flipped Congress. In 2020, Biden crushed him. After January 6th, Trump was politically radioactive. His 2024 comeback only happened because billionaires lit money on fire to rehabilitate him. Trump has not changed, not one bit. His big, beautiful healthcare bill is going to strip coverage from millions, kill jobs in red states, and shovel wealth to his donors. This is a political time bomb. And that's why the 2026 midterms might be exactly what Trump wants. Trump's political superpower is disaster. Every time he implodes, he comes back stronger. Bankruptcies, impeachments, prosecutions, insurrections, he feeds on catastrophe. He is at core a reality TV creature. No plot, just conflict. And subconsciously, Trump wants another implosion, because chaos gives him one thing he craves more than anything else: a chance to rewrite the rules. Here's the central truth of Trump's second term. If he leaves office, he goes to prison. A Democratic administration in 2029 wouldn't just revive old cases, they would dig through the mountain of corruption Trump has created since walking back into the Oval Office. He knows it, his lawyers know it, and his allies know it. So Trump cannot give up power. He has to find a way to stay. And a Democratic Congress in 2026 gives him the perfect enemy to justify it. Here is the playbook. Trump keeps doing what he does best: wrecking the economy with tariffs, building massive detention centres, botching disease outbreaks, ignoring crises in rural MAGA counties, and governing with pure spite and spectacle. The country melts down, Democrats sweep the 2026 midterms, they promise oversight, investigations, accountability. And this is exactly what Trump needs to trigger his final act. The Democrats launch investigations, they subpoena officials, they expose corruption. And how does Trump respond? He ignores the subpoenas, he defies court rulings, he accuses Congress of election interference, he calls oversight a coup, and he weaponizes agencies to obstruct Congress, and he goes to war with the judicial branch. Democrats then have to impeach him. He calls the impeachment an insurrection, and then he declares a national emergency, and this is the pivot point. Once the emergency powers kick in, Trump can claim that we cannot safely hold an election while under attack. And then comes the constitutional knife work. He says the 22nd Amendment doesn't apply because his first term was sabotaged. MAGA legal scholars argue his 2020 loss invalidated term limits. Right-wing media echoes the idea that his real first term began in 2025. He pressures the DOJ to issue opinions questioning term limits during emergencies. State legislators pass resolutions demanding a constitutional convention. He sues to stay on the ballot for a third term and hopes the Supreme Court punts. He spreads the lie that the 22nd Amendment was never properly ratified, and then he threatens to ignore any court rulings against him. And under the emergency powers he declares in 2026, he suspends enforcement of term limits entirely. All he has to do is say 5 words: "I'm not leaving, stop me." This isn't far-fetched. Ferdinand Marcos kept power in the Philippines by declaring martial law, temporarily. Putin swapped titles, rewrote the constitution, and stayed in power indefinitely. Dictators often follow the same script. 1. Create a crisis. 2. Declare an emergency. 3. Rewrite or ignore the rules. 4. accuse the opponents of treason, and 5. Stay in power to restore stability. Trump has already followed steps 1 through 4. Step 5 is the endgame. This is the hard truth. The institutions won't save America. The courts won't save America. And political norms won't save America. Only public pressure can force a president to step down. Democrats must impeach when necessary, warn the public in advance, call out Trump's constitutional games before he plays them, and build a narrative explaining how Trump plans to cling to power. A dictatorship is not inevitable, but complacency is how democracies die. America can stop Trump, but only if it sees the plan before it happens. If you've watched this far, hit like, subscribe, and share this so more people will understand the stakes. Trump is not inevitable, but neither is democracy. We decide which one wins.